Hello and welcome to another episode of Smoking with My MES. My name is Jason and today I want to share with you the SteakAger machine. This process all began 40 days ago when I first posted a picture of a boneless ribeye that I purchased, and it's been in the machine for 40 days. This machine actually sits in your home refrigerator or a small refrigerator like you'd find behind a bar. It comes with a small power pack that plugs into your average electrical outlet. When you look at the machine, there are two fans on the back. The one pulls the cool, dry air from your refrigerator and it passes it over to meat with the assistance of a fan that's inside. And then you also have another fan inside that's also pulling that same cool air out. And that creates a safe environment for the aging process. Now, some of you may be asking, what is a dried aged steak? A dried aged steak is simply the process of removing moisture, excess water weight from the meat. And that results in a more tender and more flavorful cut of meat. You could take a basic low average piece of meat and put it through the dry aging process and turn it into a wonderful cut. The machine itself is lightweight. Everything within it is food safe. You have a stainless steel rack. The outside walls of this are made of cutting board material, so it makes it very easy to clean up and also safe for allowing the meat to come sit. So if our cameraman comes a little closer, we'll go over this with you a little bit better. So here's the machine, and again, here's our boneless ribeye that's been in there for 40 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide the cover off. Now, this is the first time that this has been exposed since it's been inside, and we can go ahead and remove this. Place it on our cutting board. Now I want to go back to the machine for a minute and just show you how clean it is still inside. I have a little bit of food particle on this top board. We'll take this out. That's very simple. And then here is the what are we gonna call this? Like the mat that was below the rack that the meat sat on for 40 days. And as you can see, there's nothing on it. There's no blood, there's no big mess to clean up. And continuing to look inside, we have about 1/4 cup of salt, sea salt or kosher salt, whatever you want to use on the side. That helps in the aging process. And as you can see, it's relatively clean inside. To clean this, all I'm gonna have to do is pull this salt out, take a paper towel with hot soap and water and just kind of wipe it down, and that'll be it. So going over to the meat, you have a nice firm, the process of drying out the meat will cause it to be kind of firm and stiff, and you kind of get this darker color. This is called pentacle. We're actually going to be cutting this off. We're going to be taking a 1/4 inch of the outside off to expose the red flesh inside. And a lot of people are going to ask the question, well, how much weight did it lose? And I really don't want to say you're losing anything, because what little weight that you are losing in the meat itself through the loss of water in the dry aging process, you're gaining in flavor and tenderness of the meat. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the scale. When I started this process, this meat weighed 7 pounds, and I'm weighing it for the first time today and see what we're at now. Alright, so we went from 7 pounds to 4 pounds and 10 ounces. So that's what we lost in water weight, which I'm fine with. So now we're going to go ahead and put this on our cutting board. Again, it's all dry on the outside, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this dry meat. It's actually just dried. You could use this in a sauce or grind this up for a hamburger and add it with some other fresh meat. So again, we're going to go ahead and take off about a 1/4 inch on the outside. I need to use a different knife here. And you're going to want to use a knife that's sharp, because this meat is quite hard and stiff at the moment. So you're going to want to use a nice sharp knife to get through that. Go ahead, making our second cut here. Okay, now that's been cut. We're going to save this and find a use for this later on. But here's the meat. It's much more red and soft to the touch, something that you're used to seeing on a regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that once again to the size steak I want. So this looks pretty good to me. Go ahead and cut this. Cut this through. We're just about through. Again, there's no bone. It's boneless. Okay, so here we have a nice steak that's going to be great on the grill. As you can see, it's nice and red here, excuse me, as opposed to this darker color that we saw initially on the outside. And here's the other side of that cut. We're going to go ahead and cut some of this fat off on the back side because it's really serving me no purpose. And we're going to go ahead and cut another slice out. Now, you can cut this in any thickness that you want. You're cooking it, you're eating it, so whatever works for you. So go ahead and cut the second one. There, we have another steak cut. Again, staying nice and red. Looks beautiful. I'm going to cut this one a little bit thicker on the outside, get rid of all that pentacle. That again can be used later to be ground up and added to fresh beef. Or if you're more creative, you can use that in various sauces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one more time right in half. I may do that with all of them just to get more steak out of them. I really don't need steaks all that terribly thick. So here's one, here's two. Cut that one I cut earlier in half. Go. Set these to the side. Go ahead, place these on a piece of parchment paper. We have one steak, two, three, 4, 5. So we have 5 beautiful steaks that have been dry aged for 40 days. Take a look. They look great. Now, I've never personally had a dried aged steak, so we're going to make 2 videos out of this, and tomorrow we're going to put these in the Masterbuilt portable propane smoker, and we're going to go ahead and cook these in them. And I'm just going to use a simple salt and pepper on these because I want to see the actual flavor. So this has been another episode of Smoking with My MES, and today again we went over the SteakAger machine. I'm sure you're gonna have questions, so once I post this video, go ahead and place your questions in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. And I also have the support of Chef Eric, who actually works with the SteakAger company, who can also help further assist those more technical questions. And also, for more answers to your questions, check out thesteakager.com. Thank you.